Welcome to Football Tunes. This is your host DP with my colleague or people Dino Tristan. We got
Colleague.
a short show for you today because unfortunately we are in South Africa and we have load shedding. So we're gonna try keep it short and sweet. We got a few topics we like to discuss. We're not gonna get into the whole details about the Queen and how we don't have football or soccer, whatever you want to
Hey,
call
she
it,
killed
happening.
us, bro.
But
She killed.
yeah,
So
but
sorry for that. Excuse the pun, but she killed us too.
hey, you
Yo.
coming out sideways already early. But yeah, what can we say? A lot of people have a lot to say about the Queen. I got no opinion on that. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm here to talk about football, not politics. So, as you joined in, please can you like, subscribe, and click on the bell. I'm not going to say click on Anthony Bell anymore. I'm going to say let's click on
Yeah,
the bell. Yeah,
yeah.
so guys, I think to start up the show, we're going to get straight into it. Our other main old Como will be joining as soon as his load shedding issues stop. But
Y-
I phoned Escom and I said, hey, check, Como interrupts our shows every week. Can you give him some load shedding in his area? Can you get his area addressed? And some load shedding.
Yeah, doesn't
Uh,
he have jet lag? Doesn't he have jet lag from his flight from Kimberley?
yeah, you got jet lag from his life from Kimberley to Joburg.
Yeah, his
Okay.
jet lag. Yeah, his jet lag.
That sounds like something Como can have. Anyway, let's move on. I think we need to get straight into I'll
Hey,
let you
bro.
start here with money
Hey, you know why this is in connection with my comment last week. A lot of
about
those
missing
were,
your ex.
hey, missing my XX here. No, Perez, I was not in a dog box. I was quite okay. But yeah, so why I use the analogy just for those who didn't see the full or watch the full show is that Mane, a lot of Liverpool supporters are still believe, and rightfully so, because Mane has been such an impact for Liverpool, still believe that because he's gone, we're going through the struggle. So we lost 4-1 last week. We've been poor before that. And straight off the bat, we're missing Mane. We should have had Mane. I personally think that's not correct. That's my opinion as a Liverpool supporter.
I agree with you.
I, so I think that Diaz has stepped in. Diaz has stepped in January. What we know that in January, Mane's decision was made already to leave the club. Already there was questions asked in January and February, and the way his tone and his responses to those questions, his answers to those questions was, let's wait and see till we after the big cups. And it stuck like that. So that's why I think Liverpool went in and they got Diaz, and Diaz stepped in, and Diaz has really come to the party. He's Liverpool's best player by far. He scored what, like 4 goals already for Liverpool, the highest goal scorer for Liverpool. Versus Mane at Bayern in a much easier league, he scored only 3 goals in his 6 games or 5 games they've played. So to say that we are missing Mane, yes, Mane, with what he can do and his ability, yes. Um, but the problem is in our midfield. We know this. The problem is in our defense. So for me, Mane is someone that we needed to let go, and I think that definitely um, he's not the problem. You know,
Yeah, I watched
I,
Mane against Barca. He's not the same player. Yeah, I was
and
watching him, and Mane was the type of player you would take on a player, go with the ball, carry the ball. He was not doing that, bro. I was watching him, and I'm looking at him, and I don't know if I don't know. Does it make sense if I say a player look lost?
yeah, yeah,
He
and
just
that's what
looked like
Salah is. Salah's is looking the same. I think they missing each other. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
they boyfriend and girlfriend, they missing each other.
They definitely missing each other. You know what
I
I
was
mean? And
watching Mane, and I'm saying to
that's
myself, this old bro, I remember how he used to run at the ball and he used to like if you watch Hazard, another player, they don't carry the ball anymore. And I'm watching him. Is it the coach that says give the ball off early, or is he just it's a transition from
it's a transition. You must know
the Premier League to the other league?
it's a league, but more of a team thing. You saw when you play in a team like example out Liverpool has been for the past few seasons, and you're playing at a high level, especially in the past few seasons. Liverpool has been playing, that high level, and then you leave and you go to another club, you end up lost, bro. You know how Robertson plays. You know your interchanging play, and that's what you're finding with Liverpool now is that managed to go into the center. They used to confuse the defense back wide, left into the center. Right now, Salah is far left, and then Diaz is
I'm
far
I'm
right
I'm
and
I'm
coming in.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm actually glad you
Yeah.
mentioned it because one of the commentators was talking about that in during your one game you were battling, and he said the difference was
Mm,
with Liverpool and Salah and Firmino, you wouldn't go far wide. You would come in and your players will be very, very close and you will play this,
yeah.
just tap,
Yeah.
tap, tap. And then the wing backs would go wide and you will cross the ball over. There
Yeah.
was always that. And they were showing the difference with Diaz. And it's not that he's not playing well. It's just that he's like far wide now. So in
Yeah.
the center, you'll seem like you're lacking now because you're not crowding the center and players. And that's why what you just said, it's our midfield is battling. Maybe your midfield is not battling. Maybe because your players are going so far wide now, that's what's happening. Is that it seems
Mm.
like what's happening in the midfield? You're not crowding the midfield. You're not putting teams under pressure. That
And
Klopp
that's what
even
happened.
said
Yeah.
that there's
Yeah.
no identity anymore.
That's what happened against Napoli when you watch that game. Oh, you were like big acres of space between the midfield defense, and they were coming through, and that's why. And it's easy now. Target Trent. There's no one covering Trent. You know what I mean? There's no one covering
Shame.
Trent now.
That
Henderson's
was getting nailed left, right, and center.
so poor. So we speak now, as you say now. Look there. We're speaking of Trent, the midfield, our defense. And Mane is not someone that we are saying that yes, this is the reason why we've got our problems. It's definitely the midfield. I mean, we had a front four: Firmino, Mane, Salah, and Jota. Then Nunes was bought. Even though
Hmm.
we Mane left, we now added to that front five. So
So
I think
then, okay,
the
so
front's not a
I don't
problem.
think
They
it's a
they
front.
will
Yeah.
score goals.
Okay.
It's
Who's your
it's that
midfield now?
midfield.
Who's your
Well,
midfield?
we've got Thiago, Fabinho, Seam now. If these all stay fit, they will be the core of the midfield, and then you either add in Elliot or the other. I don't know why I says Cavallo. Thiago is the core, and you either add Elliot or
And what happened to Sim? I don't see him anymore.
which one?
Kaita,
Hey, Kaita.
Kaita.
Hey, the nigga. Some. I don't know. Okay, and he likes injuries. He reminds me of Sturridge. Sturridge was an
Glass
injury
legs.
king, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, he's a good player. He played well for us last season. It was a good impact. He's going to be out for very long, apparently. So, yeah, man, it's just whatever Liverpool's plan was, I think it was poorly planned at the midfield. But by letting Mane go was not going to make a difference. Last point. If you look at the COVID run, we try to defend our title. We lost Van Dijk. And then things changed, and it that affected our front three because Van Dijk used to give those long balls, boom, bang,
Hmm.
open up. You know what I mean? Give his own space to run. Mane that season, Mane was poor that season, and then only at the end we just made it to make Champions League. So yeah, to say that Mane has carried us, and he's had bad times as well. He's had bad moments, and I think he's going to that at Bayern. But personally, my opinion, guys, straight off the bat, Mane is not the problem,
I don't think he
and
carried you guys. I think he complemented
he
Salah.
did, he did, he did,
Yeah, yeah. So
he did.
I
So
think what happens as fans, we argue in WhatsApp groups and you're missing. But in all honest fact,
no, bro,
there's certain players that just gel. Yes,
Junior is a
just
Liverpool supporter. He loves Mane. You know what I mean? Now he's one way. Mane is a man, and we should get him. But back, I don't know. But anyway,
no. I just think that players
that's
complement each other, and when players leave, that shit happens. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you want to get
hundred.
into the big topic of the night. We could get into the Glazers, who I have already there, or we could just discuss Chelsea, or we should wait for Como to eventually pitch up with the load shedding, or should we talk about the results and then get into Glazers? I'll give you the
I think let's
opportunity
just let's
to.
just touch the results quickly. I think there wasn't any Premier League results to Champions League results. Um,
Cool, cool. So we're gonna go to the Champions League results, and the first one I'm gonna start with since we discussed. We're gonna talk about hey bro, Chelsea versus Salzburg, 1-1. I watched this game.
yeah,
Yo. I honestly don't know why. And it's harsh. I know I'm being harsh. I know I'm being unrealistic for a coach to come in and just boom straight off the bat doing well. But if you watch Chelsea, Chelsea were out. They were just you know when you say a club is one dimensional, they play through the center, go down to the wing. It's not happening down the wing. and they come back to us and say did that the whole game, and they rely on
Mm,
Reece James. What's that guy's name? Reece James.
yeah,
They
Reece
rely
James,
on him, and if
top player.
he's not providing nothing, and I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me with this, but I like Werner. Werner was a striker that would pull players wide, which opens up the space in the midfield. And that's why Werner had more assists than he did have goals. And now what happens is,
Yeah, yeah.
they're relying on what's the German like his name? Kai
Havertz,
Havertz.
Havertz, Havertz, Kai
And
Havertz.
it's not working. He's not an out and out striker, bro.
I think as
It's
much as
just
we've as much as Liverpool is a good example, much as Liverpool have let Mane go and it was a loss. I think I think Kaya, but Werner is a loss because he added something else to their team. So you can't. For me personally, of course, it's the first game. It's unfair to judge Potter. I think he well deserves it. I think we don't give these guys a chance. The guys that are coming from Brighton, good coaches from Wolves, and we don't give them a chance. They must come from a top team outside in Europe and coach Chelsea. But with the pressure of Todd, hard to pronounce his surname, is it Bully?
no, he's
What's
American, bro. So
yeah,
I
but
think
what's his
it's
surname?
Bully. I
Bully.
don't
Yeah.
know.
So
You can call
Todd
him or
Bully.
Bully Boy.
Bully boy, maybe Todd. I think Tuchel was too much of also a strong character, and
Yeah.
he had to go. And
His
and
reason
then
for
Todd
saying that he
seems to
let
have
Todd
his
Bowley go was Todd Bowley didn't have the vision that he had. So this guy's
yeah.
American, and the last time we American owners came with their vision, Woodward 2.0, Manchester United. So we'll get
That's
onto
your
that soon.
belief. You're gonna get
Yeah,
onto that later
that's
on. I
my
think
belief.
that's.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this is what we wanted as fans. Not wanted when they came onto the table. We were like, yeah, let's spend 100 million on a player, and then let's hey, these always got top wages. Bring the players. We need them. Who's gonna buy them? It's all these big tykes, Americans and these Arabs. So
Yeah,
this was gonna
but
happen.
Chelsea were
Unfortunately,
poor, bro. Yo, yo, yo.
short.
And back to my statements. They benched the donkey. I told you, oh guys, and I'll stick to my statement. They bought what's this guy's name from
Yeah, no,
Italy?
he's from
Koulibaly.
Italy.
They bought
Koulibaly is
Koulibaly. Well, he came from Italy. He was playing in the Italian league.
yeah,
They bought
yeah, yeah,
Koulibaly. I said when they were buying Koulibaly, Koulibaly 2, 3 seasons ago was fantastic. I wanted him, but then
yeah,
I saw a couple of games that I was watching of Koulibaly, and I was like, yo, this guy's poor, and he's been exposed in the Premier League. He's been
yeah.
okay.
No,
Maybe yeah, no, hey, yo, he's getting exposed. I was watching that guy. Look, they benched him, bro. That was, okay, let me put this question to you.
yeah,
When you need to win a game like how Chelsea needed to win that game against Chelsea,
yeah.
do you bench your best centre backs? Do you bench your best players? No, you don't.
You don't. But this is the thing. Potter's first week, bro. I think he just needs to see what's the story next 3 weeks or whatever after international break. Then he'll know what's his first 11 or his first who plays in defense. Um,
Bro, Chelsea was
Interesting times
playing.
for
What's this guy's
Chelsea, bro.
name back? Chelsea was playing as Pulisic.
Espilicueta.
As Pulakwitz,
Espilicueta.
I'm saying as Pulakwitz. Yo, I'm putting two
Yo,
names
you
together.
came with a
Pulisic,
Pulisic.
Pulisic, and as
Hey,
Pulakwitz. He was playing him at
yo.
centre back, bro. Doesn't that all play at right back most of the times?
He's in a back three. He plays as a centre back, and then they've got Reece James playing as wide right, and then
Yeah, he
uh,
just looked lost. But anyway, that we'll move on from them. I think the next result was not such a big result, but it was expected. Madrid 2 versus RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig is these newly formed teams bought over by Red Bull. Yeah, so it was a good result from, hey, bro, that Lighty Valverde.
he's
I
an
said it
engine.
years ago, they are one so, bro. Yo, yo, yo. And
Apparently, Liverpool on the last day, second to last day of the transfer window, put out. I know how true this is. Close to 100 million bid for Valverde.
he's a player,
Apparently,
bro. Yo, yo. You know what
and
I like about him? And one of the commentators was speaking about him. And the example I'm gonna give is okay, Milner might be a bad example. I'm gonna give is that player that plays for Chelsea. What's his name? He plays. They got him playing everywhere. He's English like plays.
the English lads here
Yeah, he's
in the
quite
midfield.
tall, quite solid. Yeah, quite solid.
Oh,
I'll get his
okay.
name just now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the example he was giving is, hey, this guy plays everywhere. He's good. And when one commentator said, no, that's not a good thing. When you're a versatile player like how he is, because you can't hold one position down, you get used everywhere, which means you don't get a lot of game time. You get game time when the main player is out. And that's the example I give with Werder doesn't apply. Because Werder Bruno was playing right wing in the finals against, wasn't he playing right wing against Liverpool in the finals?
A right mid,
Yeah, man was
almost
playing
right
right
wing back
mid,
is
bro.
just buzzing on that wing. He's
Yeah,
just all
he
over.
and if you watch him in other games, he's playing as like a CDM. You're like, yo, check this out. He is, bro. He is solid.
He's a top player.
He,
And Madrid is a Madrid. You know, Madrid has done. They've done this very well. They've done their transition. Excuse me. Their transition was so smartly done because you've got Casemiro, which has served him so well. He's left. Tony Cruz who's still there, and then you've got the magician. Excuse me. You've got him in the midfield, and they then bought these young stars coming in and to play in those roles. So they're learning their trade for now, probably 2 seasons with
yeah,
Modric, with
that's
Tony
one thing
Cruz. I
they
mean,
did. That's one
who
thing they
else
did
as a
very good.
midfielder, as a future and a young midfielder in your early 20s, who else would you want to learn this trade from? Those two players. And they've
Yes,
done that so
Modric and
well. That
Kroos,
is
bro.
excellent, bro. And Madrid have done a
Yeah.
great job with their team. So they looking strong. Yo, they're looking strong.
And then another result. I didn't watch this game. I was watching the highlights on my phone this morning when I got up. I was just busy now, so I was having a break. And I was watching the Sword City versus Dortmund. Bro, I'm saying that Haaland must get tested. No, he must get tested.
He's a
You
Martian.
can't, bro. Yo, bro.
He's not
To the
from
golden
this
man
earth.
scored next year. Yo, yo.
That is insane.
But it was a solid game. What's that like? An English night that everybody wants. I watched.
Bellingham. Oh, bro, that's going to be another race for that boy.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's over
Liverpool's
100
overconfident. That Liverpool's
100 million. I can
overconfident.
see that's another 100 million play that's going. And bro, it was insane, bro. That and then Haaland pulled it out. That's that old bro, something else. Yeah. That old
I'm
yo,
actually
yeah.
I'm jealous of City. Like every time Ireland plays, I'm like, say, just have a bad game, don't score, just because I want to play it not to have in your team.
Hey, and this
Mm.
team, when I watch this, I'm actually happy and I'm sad at the same time. Uh, Benfica
Why though?
versus Juventus.
Ju-
Because of Pogba. Pogba made me hate Juventus. Pogba just made me despise Juventus for no reason. It's just one of those like how I got nothing against Chelsea because it means nothing to me, but I only hate Chelsea because of Como and Luda. That type of relationship. My big hate is
uh,
towards Liverpool. I don't care about City. I don't care about anybody else. But for me, a Juventus, bro, they lost to Benfica. What's their coach's name? Allegri. Is that
yeah.
their coach? He's getting gone. He's definitely the next coach to go. He's definitely the next coach to go. I don't see
Yeah,
his career lasting
but
that long.
but 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 Juve, what they've done is I think they're also battling with finances. I mean, they let quite a few players go just because I think because they're battling with their and that they left a lot of their good players go. So
Yeah,
their team is
and
actually a very weak team.
Pogba took a hit in salary to join him because Pogba
Mm,
same like Ronaldo. Pogba exactly same like Ronaldo. Expected thousands of clubs, the PSGs, the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, all to chase him. And then when the shit hit the fan, they both realize, and I'm saying both of them, that actually nobody wants you on your high salary and your age.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
exactly what happened with Ronaldo.
irrelevant,
Reality sets in.
Mm.
Yeah. And the next, that nobody knows Maccabi
Ah,
Haifa. Yeah, this is just, we're not
I
even
think
going
we
to talk
should
about this
skip that
result.
one, skip that
Yeah,
one, skip that
yeah,
one.
yeah. Don't even spend time over this. Hey, bro, I watched this game also. Liverpool 2 versus Ajax. You know what? You know what the thing about this result was? And then many people can say, oh, Liverpool should not battle against Ajax. Liverpool. No, bro. No, no, no. Ajax plays. Ajax plays. Liverpool won this game. Liverpool's fought for those 3 points.
We needed that
So
badly.
and I watched this game, bro. Ajax was playing clearance quarter. Every time they got the ball to their centre backs, you know that one where you just get the ball and bah, kick it out. They were
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
uh,
But with Ajax, they know they can. It with Ajax, they know they can go to any team and win. It's a type of team. It's youngsters.
hey, but how was that
Oh,
goal
it's
from
deep.
their striker?
Yeah, cracker. A top goal
Yo,
mixed with
that was it.
a bag of poor defending. Again, it's like Oh, how much more do you want to watch yourself making flops? I mean, you watch Napoli's trend now. You watched Napoli's game. The
Yeah,
coach
hey,
said you
that
watched
was
it
sleeping. Yeah,
over and over again. You've watched it. You go and you commit the same mistakes again. Come on, man. It's really
my
to.
question around the whole Trent story. He's poor defending. Is his poor defending being exposed because your centre backs are poor now at this moment? Because think about it,
Um,
he's always been poor.
no,
He's always been poor
no.
at defending.
What has happened is that he's always been poor, but he was getting picked out occasionally because Henderson, as much as I was him, and he's not that type of player you can enjoy under eye. But what he's done for Liverpool and the legs he puts in and to cover. I mean, he played when Van Dijk was out. He played number 5 for most of the season, that COVID season. Him and Fabinho. So
Yeah,
in
people
that
people, people
position,
don't see the players like Henderson
you want to see fancy players. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You always
yeah.
want to see the players that cause a lot of like good vibes, But Henderson always covered Trent. Trent went, boom, Henderson covered him, and that's where now Trent is. There's no one in that midfield. You got Elliot who's playing in that position. Elliot can't do what Henderson did, so they're going at Trent. They pushing him to the test, and they're catching him out. So that's what happened in this game. But all in all, Liverpool were dominant. However, the fact that with us being bruised the way we've been bruised the past few weeks, hey, any flop, hey, the crowd, you can just hear you're just worried, just like still
Yeah,
tension.
yeah,
So we've got to get you could feel
That's
it, right?
that's exactly what it is. You know
And
when
that's what
United
happened.
had under Ragnick, no matter
Yeah,
what mistake your defender makes or your midfielder, the fans is like, oh, it's the tension's hard on the players, and that's
it's
what's happening with
tension.
you guys. I'm watching
So
it, I can
Thiago
see.
must you could feel and see it. So Thiago must have thumbs up, must have side to side pass, what kind left, what kind right. He had a big impact because he actually went forward for us, bro. He was passing forward, going forward, carrying the ball forward. So hey, let's hope he stays fit. And it's
Yeah,
Fabinho. For me, the other thing is Fabinho is he's also off the pace. He's looking dead
you know when
tired.
I saw this result that's scrolling now, Leverkusen versus Atletico Madrid, I was actually happy. I absolutely hate Atletico Madrid. They not a fan of football.
Yeah,
It's a
certainly.
tactical thing. Yeah. So when I saw them losing, I was like, yeah, thank you. You deserve to lose. I don't like that team, bro. You know,
Yeah.
because their coach irritates people when he plays soccer.
Well, he's supposed to
He's
be a
yeah.
United. He was on the cusp of United, the coach. Hey, he would have thundered the Glazers. Hey, you would have walked into the room there like office, corner office.
Hey,
Wow.
Barca versus Bayern, bro. And I can tell you, Barca had Bayern box. I don't know what game you watch or if you watch game, but Barca had
Actually,
Bayern.
I didn't watch. I was watching the
I
Liverpool
watched
match.
this
So
game, Barca, those lighties, and exactly what Sobani was saying. I have to agree with him. Those lighties box the midfield. But the game is not won in possession. They
this is
can
the
have
thing.
all the position they want. You can do all you want, but Bayern scored the goals. And that's all
This
that's
this
important. Nobody remembers your position.
this is the thing. Is that you can be designed to play this type of football, but what is it when you don't score goals? It's
Yeah.
they got a good team. I mean, those Pedri and Gavi, Xavi,
I think
Javi.
let's move on for those non-important results. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens next week. Okay, I'm gonna put the question to you, and then I'll give my opinion. Glazers, is the hate justified from United fans?
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna put
how
a few
long is your
points on the screen.
you got a
No,
couple points? How
I'm
long
going.
you think you've got? I'll give
I'll,
about 2 minutes, right?
yeah,
So 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 in terms of football, in terms of building a team, um, I think the Glazers have done what they needed to do. I mean, they've spent so much already. Of course, was that all the coaches that worked for them or the managers that worked for them, was that their decision on those players? We'll never know. Partially 50-50, who knows? But what they've done this season is literally almost turn you around. And who would have thought this would have happened for you? Probably would have thought, hey, another battling season. But they've got the right coaching manager, I believe personally, even though I'm not a Man United supporter. The players that you've bought for now can get you over the line, I think, even to challenge for top four, Champions League. Europa League. You won this evening, eh?
Yeah, we won 2-0.
You won 2-0, right? So
Yeah.
so to get through, win the Europa Cup,
Listen,
getting to the
listen. We won
Champions League,
Sheriff.
all
We beat Bob Marley's team. We played in Moldova.
bro.
Okay, but Sheriff
but
beat Real Madrid last
but
season,
that's what I'm
even
saying.
before.
They don't
Yeah.
they there for a reason. They're not a bad team. Anyway, you still won. You another season you would have got beat. Right. So so they, in terms of what they've done in putting, even though the money now, when you talk business end, yeah,
Yeah.
they've been a bit sketchy for you for United as a club and as a business. Um, but what can they do in the business itself in terms of soccer in the Premier League, even in Europe? It's not structured for them to make enough money. So that goes back to the point of, right, players are getting more expensive, salaries are more or much more. Um, what must we do? Commercially, all
Okay,
we
so
can do is
I get where you're going with this, but I'm gonna take it with facts and tell you
United
why the point.
supporter. I
Yeah,
don't do
yeah.
much research
So,
on the
so I've
Glazers, so
watched
you can
I
tell us
haven't
more.
I watched a couple of guys that really speak give you real facts about United, and I also
Don't
couldn't
tell me
understand.
Gary Neville. Oh, Gary Neville.
No, 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 no. So I'm not even going to
He's
mention their name. So the points that I think that's very important is the Glazers have spent, but they have not spent their money. They spent United money based on revenue. Now I'm going to go take 100 steps back. So Manchester United were purchased by the Glazers. When they took the Glazers, they took a loan. I think it was 650 million, if I'm not mistaken, in hedge funds. And the problem with that loan that they took that loan, and that loan was now put that loan was put on United as debt. And the problem with those United, when they put that loan on United, the debt now became the debt was taken on United's assets, which incurred 60 million per annum. Already you got 500 million which you put the club, you put that on United's assets. So for instance, if United can't pay those debts, those assets have to be sold off. So now there's
yeah,
huge interest on those debts, which is 60 million per annum. And that's just one point. And before I move on to the next point, do you know United's the only, and people I say this very extreme, the only club in the world that pays their owners dividends. Only club in the world. No other club in the world plays their club dividends. Now
sure.
I'm gonna take one more step back. When the Glazers bought United, no one saw the red flags, but all the malls, they own a lot of properties and stuff. But they've been obviously when you sell a club, you don't care because you're selling it. It's not your deal, it's not your story anymore. But when the deal before the deal was going through, someone should even to go check the Glazers. The Glazers own a couple of malls in the US. Go look at those malls. The workshop. You know, the workshop in town that you haven't been to in the last 15, 20
In
years
the
is in a
wheel,
better
the
is the
wheel.
wheel is in a better state than the malls that they own. They don't invest money into the club at all. So,
Mm,
for instance, if you just go look at Bayern Munich and Real Madrid's new stadium that they've done, or all the new stuff that they've done, which they take money and they invest into the stadium. United
mm.
Stadium, bro. Think about it, bro. Just what they call Manchester United
It used
Stadium,
to be it used to be the
theater
theater
of
of dream.
dreams. Now, a lot of fans will say the theater of nightmares, but that's based on soccer and whatever. But how many stadiums you know in the world when it's raining, when you're sitting under shelter, it leaks. The stadium leaks. The other day they
It-
said that United's having a makeover. They're gonna do like this whole. They're gonna fix things, and you know what they're doing? Dude? They were painting it with red paints, and they were
Sure,
showing where they were doing the make. I'm talking about they were painting it with red paints over rust. Where have you seen that
sure,
in your life, bro? That's like ANC
sure.
government just running that stadium. They're painting
Yeah,
the red
yeah,
paint with rust.
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
think about it, bro. The stadium is in a mess. How many stadiums you know leak, bro? You're talking about Old Trafford, bro. One of the most well-known stadiums in the world leaks. Where the fans
Yeah,
sitting, they were showing this big hole where it was leaking.
sure.
I'll
Well,
carry on. You carry on, Kieran.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Well, no, you carry on with the facts from the Glazers and the Glazers, and I'll
Yeah,
just give my
so the
opinion
stadium's
towards the
in a
end.
big mess. Okay, so
Mm,
another thing is the Glazers hired people to run the club as a business purely. Let's just get out the way. The club is not run as a football club. This
mm,
hiring Ralph and getting rid of all the backroom staff and employing new people, oh, they only did it as a last straw before eventually they sell or before shit happens. Because think about it,
mm,
bro. They employed Mourinho. They employed Mourinho because Mourinho's a must win. Let's get the point. They employed apparently the tactical genius of LVG, which was not a tactical genius because he was now old and his tactics were this one,
mm,
this.
mm,
They hired Moyes, which was United fans' nightmare, based on the fact
But
Alex Ferguson.
listen.
Yeah.
Just quickly to go back to LVG, Louis van Gaal, he's doing a good job at the Dutch team, and those are young boys. This is a new game. They're doing well internationally. So
Okay. You said doing well internationally. What have they won?
no, what I'm saying is he's putting together a
No,
strong
I agree
Dutch
with you. I
team.
agree with
You know what I
but
mean?
but yeah.
Didn't they win?
They,
Didn't they win the European?
I don't know.
Thing
I
league?
don't think so. But yeah, we move past
Anyway,
LBG because we're not focusing
yeah,
on. So
yeah.
so okay, that's and they employed just it was Woodward was a finance man. Let's just get that straight. Woodward said that we United can do things in the market that no other team can do, which means since then we've overpaid. Because let's be honest, Anthony's nowhere near 85 million. I don't even say 50 million for Anthony. But the reason for that is poor planning from management and staff and back up. Because let's be honest, bro. The reason why our coach, Eric Ten Hag, went for Ajax plays because he doesn't trust the scouts. Listen, how much did City pay for Haaland? Under 50 million?
Yeah, around about 50, 55, I
Yeah.
think.
We paid
Yeah,
50 million
yeah,
for a centre back. We paid
yeah,
50 million
yeah,
for Martinez. We bought
yeah.
another left back. What? Malaysia. We bought another left
That
back.
was
I'm not saying
that was
Light is a
that,
good left back. My point I'm saying is we got Luke Shaw. We got Tillis. So you buy another left back, but you didn't buy a CDM. But okay, you got Casemiro
bro.
now.
Wait though.
Let me
Yeah,
finish. Let me finish. You got Casemiro after there was toying and EFF was standing out with red flags and toying. Then they said, hey, you know what? But think about it, bro. Casemiro's a world class player, but you put all your eggs in one basket going for the lighty that says he does not want to come. I do not want to go to Manchester United. You stuck it out till the last end, till the club was even trying to force him out. And think about it, bro. Who VDB didn't want to come, bro.
he didn't. But later on down the line, he might say, hey, maybe I made a mistake because looking at your squad, listen, that Malacia Lighty is probably your best buy the season thus far.
Okay,
So
we
much as
paid we
thus
paid
far.
12 million for him as a good buy, but my point I'm trying
That
to
was
say is
for
we
what he
we,
can what
we
he's
started the
doing in that
season
squad.
still poor planning, but we started the season without the striker. And why I'm saying this because Ronaldo made it clear that he wanted to leave. There was early in the transfer window that Ronaldo said he's not staying, knowing that we can no Champions League. Listen, when you joined, you knew we're not making Champions League. And
Mm.
now, so what should have happened? They should have said, okay, listen, what's our biggest issue? We don't have a CDM. We cannot rely on Flip and Max Sauce. Hell, we not cannot make McTominay and Fred. So we need to sort that spine out first. What do they do? Who did we buy first? What's a left back? When we got two left backs. Jones is still here, bro. Jones is Alex Ferguson player. Now tell me how the hell does Jones survive? Can they not terminate his contract, give him away for free,
No, they
get
can't because it's connection
get one
calls.
get one of the lights from the Kali to maybe take him out or something? I don't
It's
know, bro. Some
connection calls.
ideas.
No one, bro, no one gets bombed for municipality. It's a connection call.
Now, people. I know you
Yeah.
would come at the example that yeah, but the Glazers have spent, the Glazers have spent. No. The Glazers have spent money based on revenue that United have done. All they've done is taken out dividends. They've done, bro. The stadium is in a mess, bro. The stadium is in a poor mess.
But how
If
much? Okay, like, so from outside looking in, right? How much? How much of this actually impacts the way you support your team? How much of this changes the way you feel when your team wins? Does it
okay,
really matter? Yes, I get it because we have some investments in these organizations. We buy the kits, we buy the merch, or we even take a trip to Manchester
no,
and go
okay,
watch the
that's
game.
small. That's small. I agree with
How
you.
much how much does it really impact how you look at your team? When that first 11 comes out, you only worry about get the win, boom,
Okay.
be
So let
proud
me
of the
explain.
team,
Let me explain.
you know?
Let me explain. And a good example of this is City. When Pep Guardiola joined City, how many players did they buy to build their team? How many players did they buy? Pep, think about how many players Pep has spent over the years. We have our worst season in United history. I'm talking about a terrible season. What do we buy? We buy a left back. We buy a centre back in Martinez. We get a free play in Ericsson. We bought Anthony for 85 million, which was a poor buy. And the reason why I say a poor buy is because we had to pay 85 million because we put Ajax at a point where, listen, we're not selling. You want him? Give us the money we want. So for me, it was a very, very, very poor. It's still extremely poor planning. Do you know that United's debt is still almost 600 million? So still 600 million, which is run very, very poor. And on top of that, besides the 600 million debt, do you know that United still pays 60 million in interest on that loan every year? So, bro, think about it, bro. It's a poorly, poorly, poorly run club because the Glazers are not interested about anything else than running the club like a cash cow, and that's why the fans, you muted.
Yeah, but this is the thing, bro. This is what happens when a club starts losing money. I think you've still made some money, even though you're in debt. I don't know. I don't know. You've made some money, so that's what's going to happen with this type of this thing with football. All these hoes in that owners club, they got big clouds. They'll stop
Yeah,
pushing their
but
weight, bro.
I get your point, but you must remember the question is the hate for the Glazers justified? And
Yes.
to answer that question,
For
it's
you as a United
100% yes.
supporter,
Yeah.
I can't answer that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think we're gonna move on to the topic that we were gonna leave Como to talk about, but we know a little bit about Woodward 2.0. So, what's your thoughts on the circus that's happening at Chelsea?
I don't think it's a circus, bro. I think
Wait, just
because
give me two
we take
seconds. For the viewers that are on, if you have any questions and questions that we can answer, you can't ask us about chemistry and what's trigonometry and all that because we know nothing about that. If you got any questions and you wanna put your questions out there, give us and I'll give the question to Tristan to answer because this guy is quite knowledgeable when it comes to ball.
sheesh.
But while those questions come in, what's your thoughts on Chelsea and the circus that's happening? And me
I
and you
don't
were
think it's a
debating this
yeah,
earlier today.
yeah. I don't think it's a circus, right? I think because what we're doing now, we're taking that same picture from the Glazers and Ed Woodward, and then we're putting it on because
American.
he is American. So we put him in a box, so he's come with that style, you know. I mean, yeah, he's allowed to have that style and puff his chest out, say certain things because they just bought a club for how much, 2.3 billion pounds or 3 billion pounds, so they can ever say they have the right to ever say. Of course, letting um, Czech go was a big loss for Chelsea, I think, because he was a football director, or he did a lot of the business behind negotiating with people that he knows and networks of football in this industry. So by letting him go already was, I think, a problem for Chelsea. But then he took the reins and he started buying big players. Who knows? He looked at it commercially because that's what they do. But he was not building a team. And that's why Chelsea is now looking, as you saw, disorientated, pull all over the show because they don't
Yeah,
really
but
have a
okay, wait,
team.
wait. So, okay, I agree with you to a certain point. So is it because Czech was not building a team, or because Czech left before they could start doing things? Because remember, when Czech left before the transfer window was open.
Czech left as soon as it was, yeah, before the transfer window
Yeah.
was
So
open.
so
That was
so
the
what
first
happened
thing
was
he
what
wanted to
happened was
do. He took the
you must
rights
remember
back.
a lot of new owners do this. They come and they're like, okay, I'm here. What you all
Yeah. So
doing?
so
Yeah.
because what he needed to do is take the rights back. Probably there was some contract or whatever binding that. Okay, Czech is still there. He has the rights to say and give certain things, take certain roles and positions. He took it on his own. So he did that. Who knows? Apparently, he's in the in for is it Leipzig's football director.
Got yeah. Yeah.
That's not too bad. At Leipzig and they well run teams. Those
That's
Red
one
Bull
thing.
teams. So
That's one thing.
they
They're very
well run
well.
teams. They get good players. They sell them at good price. They make good money. So he's looking at that, and I think Chelsea just need a season or two. It's a transition. This is not like that. The magic that
Yeah.
was created by
On his
Abramovich in the first season. Abramovich came. He bought this. He got Mourinho. He bought his players. Mourinho won. He won, and then Chelsea
But
became a
but you
good
know what
team.
you know what it is. My problem with what he did is okay. Maybe he's a good owner. He's spending money, and my biggest issue with him is that, bro, Tuchel was a good coach. You don't come and fire a coach that was doing well. And here's my biggest issue with him. And a lot of people definitely will agree with me with this. You don't make the man spend so much money. You gave him all the money. You shouldn't check it. But buys one to beers. What you topping? I know I top Hunter's call. buy answers call, buy a case of answers call for you. And as the O comes in the yard, he says, let me help you carry it, and you close the gate behind him, buy out. That's exactly what he did, bro. He made him
No,
buy
he
all
just
the crazy
so
ones.
he made him thirsty.
He made the man spend all the money, bought him a tray of answers call, and you
But
tell him, hey, take a
JP,
chicken.
don't
No, you don't
forget,
do that.
Tuchel never spend it. And a lot of times, if you look maybe back at some press conference when they weren't really getting the players that they were linked to, and Tuchel wasn't happy. He wasn't getting the players, and then he got these players, and he carried on. And this is why he probably left, because there was a late interview just before he got sacked. And if you saw this on Sky Sports, uh, Tuchel said, or the interviewer said to ask him, "Hey, how's it working with your new bosses?" They're like, "It's fine. We communicate every day. I'm actually teaching them about the business." That's the one that got him bombed. And if you saw that, he says, "I'm actually, but don't." And then he said after, "But don't tell them." Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah. You
I'm
see,
out
the thing
here
is,
sitting in town watching this video. How can they not
okay,
find out?
so listen. I think we end the show with that because
Yeah, yeah,
we're not both not Chelsea fans, so I think our,
yeah,
our our views might be biased. But my take on it is, bro, that
yeah.
it was a big mistake to fire him, and I'm saying Potter, and I'm taking bets. December,
You think so?
December, he's gone.
Sure, that'll be in. That's 2 months time. Don't undermine December where it is. It's close. It's 2 months. December always
Yeah,
sounds far, right? It's the last month of the year, but it's in 2 months. DP, you think he's gonna get fired in 2 months?
you know why he's gonna get saved now because the Queen saved him. There's no games being played. The
Hey, the
Queen
Queen saved
saved
him.
him.
He- Lucky
The
Liverpool
Queen
is coming
saved him.
wounded. But
Yeah,
also just on lastly, I think Todd Pooley, great idea. Let that All Star match happen, dog. It's tops. We watch the NBA. I watch NBA All Star match. Let that thing happen. No one likes the Charity Cup. It is nonsense. They come out there, they
yeah,
sing "God Save the King," bring out the army, all that. Let's play it. Let's make it happen. I think you must make it happen. You play the Friday, maybe you have like free kicks, also the penalties, also doing backflips. Then Saturday you, then Saturday you, and you Saturday you have that match with, bro. That'll be tops. You must go for it.
yeah. I know it's not a bad idea, but my only problem with that whole bringing more stuff is there's too many fixtures as. But I think we'll stop the show like there.
Shot,
Guys, like, subscribe, and click on Anthony Bell. It was a good show. Hopefully,
definitely.
and I'm betting, willing to bet that Cobo will join because he still has the link to join the studio. He'll click on the studio link by himself. It'll be like phoning me, let me in the studio. But yeah, it was a nice
Yeah,
show. Yeah,
yeah.
peace.
Cool.
See you, brother.
See you
I'm
soon.
out.
Laka.
Bye
Peace,
bye.
everyone.